What's going on, everybody? My name is JStatik and this is the Statik Sessions, and you're tuned in right now to parallel compression for drums. So parallel compression for drums, what is it? Really simply, when I was learning how to do it, it was on big consoles where you would have a full drum track. So you'd have, whether it was kick, snare, hi-hats, overheads, grouped into a channel. There'd be some minor processing done to that, and then they would make a duplicate of that channel and they would over compress. When I mean the shit out of it, I mean like the shit out of it. Over compress it where it was pumping and breathing. And then what they would do is they would have the original track and they would blend in the over compressed track, and for whatever reason it would give this really tight sounding, explosive, in your face drum track. I think it's important to know what it is. I don't think you usually need to use it that often. I personally don't use it that often, but if I've ever had any weak sounding drums and I'm just trying to get it there and it's just right before, like 90% of the mix is done, it's just that little bit left where I want it to fill in that void and I think the drums are lacking, I'll usually use some parallel compression to make that happen. Benefits of parallel compression: even though you got a pumping and breathing type track, which you're mixing into a dry signal, you're getting this weird thing that happens where it preserves all the transients in the original file, but also brings in this nice compressed sounding, it's actually not nice, but once it gets blended in, a nice compressed sounding drum track. So let's jump into it. I'm just gonna put in a simple stock compressor from Ableton, and it says full parallel on it. So, you know, it's pretty much ready to go. The only difference is it's at 50% dry and wetness, and I'm gonna keep that at 100. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do it kind of old style, which is you're gonna throw it onto a return track, and we're gonna go send the drum track that we want to send to the parallel compressor, and then we're gonna blend it that way. Right here, this 0, this is the number that's gonna be sent to, how much of it's gonna be sent to the return track. If you remember what the drums sound like, this is what they were. So it sounds pretty good. Now what we want to do is with this compressor, I'm actually going to throw it on top of here and I'm going to make these drums pump and breathe so I know what it's going to sound like when it pumps and breathes. So, sounds pretty bad. We're going to throw that into the return track, not duplicate it, but just throw it in there, and press tab, and we're going to go into the mixer section of this, so it's a little bit easier to view. And I'm going to turn down the volume for that. So turn down the meter itself. I'm going to go into the send for the drums, and I'm going to turn that up to 100%. So I know it's this send because it's send number D, the one that's highlighted, which is the last knob. So now I'm sending full level to that return track. I'm going to hit spacebar, and then I'm going to start bringing in this level of the compressed sound and see how it matches. Now it sounds kind of cool because it's not just a raw sounding snare that's hitting, raw sounding kick. You got this really nice compressed vibe that's happening to it with all the transients in place, and it adds a really nice full sound to the drums. So again, I'm going to press play on this compressed sound, then you're going to hear me get rid of the parallel compression and you'll hear the drums on its own. And that's it. You got a nice full compressed sound with the transients in place using parallel compression for drums. This is an easy way to get your drum sounding nice and full, and honestly adds that little 10% of fullness into your drums as you need it. If you feel like this helped you out, I hope it did. Please leave some comments. Please like, subscribe, share the videos, and hit that little bell for future notifications of future videos coming up. Until then, see you guys soon.